All right, I'm ready.
All right, so we got decline.
You gotta play with your mind, bro. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I am extremely excited to introduce to you my training coach, Andrew. Now, he has dedicated his time for the past 6 weeks now. We've been training for 6 weeks? 6 weeks. Focusing on what I need most to bring out my physique later on this year in November. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that and for the full prep series, because we will be documenting everything. Now, today he's gonna take us through a full chest and tricep workout to help build these pancakes into watermelons.
Gotta get these always a little bigger.
Time to get to work. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
This.
Oh, smooth, right?
We had 2 sets of these, I think.
Small chest pump before.
They actually don't look bad when you're not first.
Before workout, pre-pump. I already feel like my before and after is gonna be way better. Just right now. Like just right now. Just on one set.
That's it. I'm ready to feel a bigger pump. Definitely bigger.
So this is still working? I mean,
this is our second warm-up set. We're basically just right now priming the movement per se. Just making sure that he's, moving the bar in the same path, keeping a good tempo, not using any momentum or inertia. And just really getting good quality reps before we hit our couple working sets. I think we have 2 working sets. So.
Show that.
We're about to hit our first working set. We already basically just finished priming the movement, getting him nice and warm, ready to go. The whole point of this exercise that I put in the beginning is to really train the fully lengthened part of the pecs and in the position that we're in, mostly the upper fibers of the pec, right? Pecs connect into the humerus, not into the shoulder, so they connect right into here. And you're gonna get a better stretch trying to keep your elbows a little bit more narrow. The most important rep is the rep that you're on. Not the 12th one, not the 7th one, is the current rep that you're on. So for me, it's more of like, instead of having a target, you're gonna basically go as many good quality reps as you can until you hit failure. You're gonna see him fail mostly in the fully lengthened position at the bottom, since that's what this movement really, really trains.
Andrew got me documenting everything like I'm back in high school taking notes, which I didn't do a good job at, but here we are still learning every single day. Andrew taught me, which by the way, he gave me this little booklet here. It's very important to track. And just like I tell you guys all the time, if you don't track, then you don't know. And if you don't know, then you're just guessing. And if you're just guessing, well, you're probably not getting the best results, right?
For some people out there, they might be thinking like, oh, 175, 185, that's not a lot, right? Like, could GC probably do more weight? Absolutely he could, but he'd be probably using a lot of momentum, a lot of inertia. Reps wouldn't have as good of quality, and he'd just be bouncing shit around like you see most people at the gym. We're trying to make sure that we're focusing on using the muscle we're trying to use, but using it through the full range of motion. We're not just trying to bring it down, bounce it off our chest, and then halfway through the motion start using our actual chest muscles or our pecs. I think that's one thing for everybody out there to take note is, tempo and control and the quality of the rep is more important than just throwing shit around and throwing weight around, which honestly down the road is probably going to lead to an injury.
Quality over quantity. Dude, I'm smoked already, and that was legit 2 working sets.
Trying to keep the line of force, which is the cable here, right? The form is in line with our forearm. If we fall into here, we're going to start to use a little bit more tricep. And then you're going to press straight down and across as far as you can to try to fully shorten. Right?
This next exercise honestly has been one of my favorite. One, because it's single arm and it really allows me to cross over, because If there's one thing I feel like I'm missing is a little patch right here. So this allows me to really cross over and really dig and get just a better contraction in that shortened position, right?
Yes. You can sometimes get a little bit away with a little bit going wider, but I always like to keep it narrow. And then it's gonna fully shorten going down and across. Okay, just like if you were gonna go for the middle fiber is gonna fully shorten across, upper fiber is gonna fully shorten across. All right, so that's basically what we're just trying to do. Get some length in here, right? Making sure that the cable stays in line with the form, and then boom, all the way down and across. So notice how the cable and the force stays in line with his form and his arm the whole time. Right? As he comes up, his elbow's a little bit more narrow. He gets some elevation in the shoulder and the clavicle, and then boom, again, coming straight down and across where that cable stays in line with the arm the whole time.
Now the question I wanted to ask you is, being that we did 2 working sets on the incline, now we're doing 3 working sets here on the cable. Back in the day, I would always train 4, 5, 6 sets because I thought doing more was better. Why are we doing 2 and 3 working sets only and not more?
Well, you gotta think about total volume for the week, right? Like, I think we have programmed, actually I know we have programmed 15 total working sets for the whole entire week. So just think, you know, to not overdo it, and I think you've been recovering pretty well with this program and how we've had it built. I just didn't feel the need to give you a 3rd or a 4th working set on that first barbell incline press. And I think one of the places that you are lacking is that little bit of that lower pec and middle pec fibers here. So I think this would be a good day to add a little bit more volume on the lower pec side. Volume it depends on everybody. It's individualized, right? So if I've given him a program and he's telling me like, hey, my chest has been sore for 3 or 4 days, I'm probably giving him way too much stuff, right? Or way too much volume. And I think that the way he's been, you know, recovering and the way he's been, you know, giving me feedback on the workouts and how he's been recovering from the workouts, I think that we're pretty much sitting at a good spot right here. And then the next 4 weeks, I think sets do change a little bit.
Yeah,
especially that we have a little bit more of a finisher, but it's going to be the tail end of our 12-week program to where, you know, I'm going to push him a little bit more, especially if he's still recovering really well.
And at the end of the day, it's all about intensity right now within those 2, 3 sets. I think a lot of us fall into the trap of doing more, but are you really training intense enough? And that's why you're able to do more compared to if you're really going to true failure or leaving 1 rep in reserve, you probably can't do 4 or 5 sets. Because if you ask me, I probably couldn't have done another incline bench press at any higher.
Yeah.
So,
especially for the amount of reps you're trying to hit, which is at least 5.
Exactly. Here, the stretch I feel right now. Come on.
Let's go. Push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. Good. All you got 1 more. You got 1 more. This is 16. Push hard. Hard. Come on. Come on. Good.
I feel like I'm gonna take off like a rocket ship, bro.
That's 16. Sorry.
Oh, you see the scoop?
Push. That was good. Really good. Come on, push. 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 Good.
The main thing right now, and what I'm focusing on is, while I'm getting in that front pose, is not to contract my chest. Something I lack on a lot. Also has to do with size. So it's easier to do it now while I'm pumped up, but not contracting, because when you contract the pec, you lose it. So you want to have it nice and relaxed. It's something I'm being very cautious about now during my training until we get to that show day.
All right, so for this one, we just finished doing the fully shortened position for the lower pec. Now we're gonna do the fully lengthened position of the lower pec, so we're gonna include some dumbbells in here. And usually I don't put anybody on a little bit of a decline, but he's perfectly fine to do this. But again, we're gonna be training now the fully lengthened part of biasing that lower pec, so this one's gonna be rough.
2 working sets here. Clearly we don't need any warm-up sets, so we're gonna go straight into it.
Notice he didn't fully extend his arm all the way up. All right, for the simple reason is dumbbells have one line of force, okay? And the moment that dumbbell comes on top of the shoulder joint, which is the main axis of this movement, you're gonna lose a lot of mechanical tension. So he stops a little bit short, getting that full lengthened position, and we failed at the bottom in the fully lengthened position, not at the top. A lot of people make the mistake of when they're doing this exercise is coming to their last rep and making sure that they get all the way up, when again, the whole point of this exercise is to get into that fully lengthened position and fail at the bottom.
Anytime you know something's gonna be really hard, like this next set, you just gotta get mad at it. Fourth exercise of today's workout out of 5. We're doing a converging incline press, which I highly recommend. If you have anything converging with a chest press, it's a great exercise, especially when getting towards the end of that rep and being able to contract, which is going to be the goal of this exercise.
Notice the incline on this is a little bit lower. So you're gonna get some upper pec fibers here, but I think this to me is from what I can see, especially the angle that you're coming up more towards the middle chest fibers than you are like we did over there to the upper chest fibers. So that's another difference of this exercise compared to the barbell one that we did earlier. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. There, good. 10-second rep. That last rep took like 10 seconds.
All right, we're gonna take advantage of the pump and we're gonna do an after photo. Dude, I'm about to fall. Tip over. I can't even make my arms. Oh, dude. Watermelons today, baby.
Oh yeah. Notice how that cable gets hidden by his arm. So that cable, that line of force is going straight through the elbow, which this elbow is a hinge joint. Only should be loaded in that plane of motion. You're gonna get a lot more out of this exercise than you are with the rope. As when you press out and down on the rope, the resultant force is you're not only obviously splitting up the amount of weight that you have on the actual rope down, but since you're pressing out, you're also splitting out, going out to the side of straight down, which what the tricep does is extend the elbow. It looks like, baby.
Feel like a puppet right now. Double bicep pose. Feels great though. Great. Something Andrew and I were just talking about, well, this is great and all, and we're being very specific, especially because he's training me. I understand this may not be for everybody. It's usually fine-tuning the details, which is what we're really doing here. We're pinpointing and trying to get as specific as possible. So if you're not the athlete or the competitor, you don't really have to worry about all these things. Can you still do the crossbody cables without this? Yes. Can you still do those with a rope? Yes. We're just trying to be as efficient as we possibly can, and again, specific. Details matter, especially in the long run.
For sure, this level.
Something I do want to say here before I let Andrew go is, I mean, he knows I'm very appreciative of him because, like I said, he is dedicating his time to train me all throughout the prep. You will be seeing more of Andrew, so don't have to say much about him, because as we dial in and we start our cutting phase to get ready for our show, national show in November, we're going to be pushing it extremely hard, just like we are now. This is kind of like my growing phase, so we're trying to take advantage of every single rep and making it count. We're trying to grow with whatever growth comes out of this before we get into our cutting phase. So if you guys want to check anything out from Andrew, if you guys want any questions you want Andrew to answer, let me know in the comments below, because like I said, you will see him later on in the videos and he'll be able to answer that for you. Andrew, I love you. Thank you so much. I'll put his handle here so you guys can check him out. He does amazing programs. Everything I'm following is through him right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace, baby.